We're streaming. Posting on Slack. I'm posting this in random. Retrieving history. All right, streaming. Okay, cool. Oh, I already got some viewers. How about that? Beth is laughing at me. Okay, what are we gonna do today? We are gonna add a little modal when you come to the site for the first time. That's just gonna show you some terms of service, and there'll just be like an OK button or like an I accept button. When the user clicks that, we will post to the server, and the server will add an HTTP only signed cookie that says what version of the terms that you agreed to, and then on subsequent page loads, you will you will get that terms version as a JavaScript variable, and that way we can upgrade the terms and have people agree once again to different versions. And we'll also pass that into the Elm application and attach it to whatever revisions that you save, whatever LAs you save, and that way, I don't know, it's just a thing. You know, nobody's misusing Ellie, but it's been on my mind. So the way I want to do this is I have these HTML files in server. So I'll have we'll just increment the version as an integer, and you know, these are the terms in development mode. And on the client, we're going to make a modal, and then we're going to iframe in whatever version we're going to be looking at. So we'll also on the server store I'm going to make a constants file. So we'll do like a latest terms version equals 1. And then we want to do this in both new and if you're going to an existing one, because you might be able to fork it. So here Oh, that's embed. Okay, where's our? Here they are. Okay, so we have latest terms version. Import constants. Or no, from dot import constants. Yeah. Okay. And then we want to include in that data or we want to pass in one second. Okay. So now we want to, okay, so now we need to look into how to do secure cookies with Flask. So I'm Googling secure cookie Orgzoid documentation. Oh dear, I upgraded MyPy and it has lots to say about my code. Anyhow. Over in storage. Okay, we're gonna import this and see if that crashes the program. It did not, so we'll get a secure cookie. This maybe is not what I want here. Maybe a little bit too explicit. Flask session, come on. Flask secure cookie? No. I'll just go to the Flask documentation. Look for cookie. Okay, so there's a save session method. What is this method on? It's on app. Okay, that's cool. That might be a good way to go. Config secret key configuration. I'm gonna bring this over so that y'all can see it. No, that's Adam. I want Chrome. Okay, so new file, new incognito window. Bring that over here. Okay, Flask docs. Shrink that down, bring it up there. Looking good. All right, so sessions. If you have the Flask.secret key set, you can use sessions. permanent. Yeah, we want that to be permanent. What? Ugh. Explain to me how this works. Okay, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna try it out. We'll fake it until it works. Okay, cool. So we want to import session from Flask up here. Session. And then we'll find new. So data equals. Okay, so we'll do accepted terms version. I promise we'll get to some Elm today. That is my solemn promise to you. So we'll do accepted terms version, and that's going to be session. I suppose that doesn't have to be uppercase. We'll pass that into the data. Okay. So that might be none. Beautify. In our new template, we're going to do like a meta equals elm data content equals if I gotta Google something else now. How do I dump a Jinja? How do I dump a dict to JSON in a Jinja template? No, that's not it. Yeah, this is what I want. To JSON safe. Cool. Let's do these one at a time. I can do dot access on these. Okay, let's see what that gives us. The app is running. Blows up. Nice. I love when my server blows up. 292. Doesn't like this. Why? $292, closing curly bracket. There isn't even a, oh, it didn't reload. right, key error accepted terms version. Right. Python get safe. Cool, dict.get. Ooh, I can use that in a bunch of places. Clean some stuff up. All right, let's pop into here. Take a look through. So I want to peek at Slack real fast. All right, closing Slack. Peek at Twitter real fast. Okay, that's cool. All right, so we should see content null. Nice. But that's like a weird thing that happened there, so quickly we will fix that. What did I do wrong? I didn't close this tag. Goodness. All right. And then we want to pass up latest terms version. Latest terms version to JSON safe. You know, to cover null. Don't need any nuns in my JavaScript code. Doesn't know what that is. Cool. So now I will do the same for existing. Should make sure that this is above that. Okay, looks good. One more up, that's fine. I like it. Okay, and now we're gonna jump into the client. Everybody's favorite program, the client. So now an editor, index, we'll do sort of in here. Where do I start the program? Right here. Closing tag. Thank you. My head's a little fuzzy today. Didn't sleep enough last night. Always appreciative of pointing out my typos. Okay, now to the client. Before we start the app, we want to just go ahead and grab those things out of the meta tags. So accepted terms version is it's going to be a document query selector meta name equals accepted terms version content latest terms version document meta name equals latest terms version. Keyboard is sticky. Keys are sticking. It's not the first time that's happened. Man, I had a key get stuck on this keyboard on this MacBook Pro one time. Took it to the Apple Store to fix it. Thought they were just gonna pop a new key in there. They had to send the whole machine away and replace the entire top plate of the laptop's body because apparently the keyboard is like integrated heavily with the rest of the top plate. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Okay, so we have these two things. Pass them in as flags. Okay. Nice. Hello. Nice to see you again. Ugh. I'm gonna add that to my CSS because it really annoys me. There we go. Came over from elm-lang, so Ellie is written in Python. Ellie, the front end is written in Elm. So we're just about to jump into some Elm code right now. But the back end is going to be in Python once this goes to production. This is a whole rewrite of the back end. Currently, the one that's running right now in production is written in JavaScript. It runs on Node.js. But the whole front end is written in Elm with some exceptions to just glue different applications together. So to that end, here's the Elm debugger. And I just want to see, I can't see flags from the debugger. Boo. No love for Elixir. I don't know, I'm just not, like the thing is I would have to learn Elixir. And I'm just not in like a learning new things mode right now. I just started a new job and I'm moving to a new city in a month, and I'm coming off a lot of previous work stress, and yeah, I'm just not learning new things. And I already knew Python well enough that I could write a server in it. So even though I had to learn and relearn things for that, it was easier than learning Elixir from scratch. Also, I think Elixir might be technological overkill for what this server actually does. Like all it does is like proxy stuff from an S3 bucket and set cookies. So not a whole lot of need for like massive concurrency there. Okay, so I want to be in editor, and I want to be in main.elm. It's really slow. I want to be an update. Looking for init. It's at the bottom. I must have called it initialize. Okay. I think flags is in the model. Yeah. The latest terms version int. But I think the company that I work for definitely has Elixir in production for various peripheral services that aid our Rails app. So that's cool. Accepted terms version is going to be a maybe int. Okay. And so the transition from flags to model, I think, is a reasonable place to do like reductive logic. So I'm going to store latest terms version, and in initialize, oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. So this takes a flags, and we'll store latest terms version flags dot terms version. Okay. Okay, now we have this initial model. We have more logic to deal with here. Suppose we could sub that in right there. Yeah, we can totally pass in another command. Good foresight, me. Terms command. I don't know what to do here. Maybe we should store a terms results. It's going to be a remote data API error. Int. Really? Did I spell it wrong? Oh, this is a... Okay. My head is very fuzzy this morning. API error int. this is kind of cool. We can do, okay, so case flags dot accepted terms version of just. Is there a from maybe on this? No, there's not. I'm gonna write one. Module extra remote data supposing all from maybe data maybe a remote. Oh goodness. Case maybe value of just a remote data dot success a nothing remote data not asked. I don't know if that's a reasonable transformation. But it works for my purposes, and I'm not publishing this, so whatever. Just put that right on there. So you're basically adding. No, so this is an application. Oh, you already told me that you came from Ellie and you know what Ellie is. That's my apologies. No, so this is the front end application for the editor, and what I'm trying to do today, in the next half hour hopefully, is create a modal just like this one, so with that remote library. I'm extending the namespace that library exports. So you are totally allowed to shadow other libraries and name stuff whatever you want when you're importing things. So I like to, if I'm going to write a function that deals with a particular data type, and it seems like generally applicable, I put it in this extra directory, and I make like an extra dot whatever. So I have this string function that's not in core, so I made an extra dot string library and wrote this replace function. And then if I want to import it, I import extra dot string as string, and it's less confusing to me. And I don't think it's a big deal in terms of discoverability. As long as once this goes open source, I'll document that pattern of doing things. So to answer your question, I'm adding functionality to that module name, which I suppose is different from like adding it to the library, but maybe not in any meaningful way. So in another way, yes. Like, I don't know. I apologize. I'm so tired this morning for no good reason, and my words are no good. Yeah, so like I could, if I don't, you wouldn't do this, but if I wanted to, I could import window as remote data. You know, I always get a little nervous about streaming these things because I do things like I got to be careful about what I open because I've done some things to make certain aspects of Ellie faster that you might not normally do in an application that wasn't like, you know, doing the strange meta thing of compiling Elm. So I just try to be careful about like what I really dig into because I don't want people taking away that this is a good pattern to apply to all Elm programs. But at the same time, y'all are smart and good at programming and reasonable people, and I don't mean to imply that you wouldn't be able to know when something is a good takeaway and when something isn't. Anyhow, so what we're doing here is we're going to bring in this maybe. So maybe if I can talk through this, it'll be easier to stay focused. So I have the integer of what the latest version of the terms that I want people to accept is. And I also have this remote data that's going to say, it's going to represent the result of a request to accept the terms of service. So if you've already accepted the terms, we're going to end up with a remote data.accept. Code is about making things. Yeah, right on. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mean to state that y'all didn't realize that. Just that there is some very bad Elm in this program. That yeah. So when this gets loaded up, it'll either be a remote data.notAsked or it'll be a remote data.success with a version that is different from this one, or it'll be a remote data.success with a version that is the same as this one. And it's up to us in update to figure out what to do with that. Actually, I don't like how that turned out. I'm going to do the lazy thing for now, and then we'll make the model better later. So what we have is an integer to say what the latest version is, a maybe to say if we have accepted something, what version we accepted, and we have this to represent the request to deal with that. And we're going to write a function now for the model called needs terms acceptance. It's going to take a model. We'll try and start narrowing the scope of these functions. So latest terms version. It's going to take some record with the latest terms version. That's an integer. Let's call this show terms modal instead. which is maybe int, and a terms result, which is a remote data of API error or int. And what we're going to return is a Boolean. Hopefully working through this gives us a better idea of how to model this. Okay, so we want to show the modal if the terms result hasn't come back, and actually, so we know that this accepted terms version came from the server directly, so we can say if latest terms version or accepted terms version equal to just latest terms version, then we don't want to show the modal. We also don't want to show the modal if the terms result comes back and it's successful. So if this is successful, okay, so let's clean that up. Do some De Morgan's law on this thing. So either those are different or those are different. So both of these things need to be different in order for the modal to show up. Okay. Definition of model doesn't match its type. That's because it doesn't. Lovely. Still doesn't match its type, huh? Yeah, that's the wrong thing. Oh man, it's in a fog. Gotta wake up. Extra remote data isn't used. It's fine. All right, now in update. Actually, let's go to view. Let's go to the view. Let's see it work. New folder. Terms modal. File view.elm. I'm just gonna copy from search so I can get all the right imports. Editor terms modal.view. Don't need those. Do need those. Probably need those. Don't need those for now. Terms modal.classes, and then regular old modal. There's going to be no view model for now. And then we'll just get rid of all this stuff. content, fill out text, regular text. Hello. Aha, I do need a view model. Message on close message. Okay. Can't find classes. That's fair. Actually, I'm going to do this thing where I don't do that anymore. Copy that from somewhere else in here that I did this. Was it in progress bar? Totally was. Does that need to be exported? Yeah, that's why I did that. So views editor terms modal dash. So export that as well. And then that way we don't need classes. We don't need to do any styling yet. Argument to be flags, but it is. Oh no, did I do something bad? Oh, I must have. Yeah, whoops. All right, back to model. We didn't quite make it out of model. Reset to new. Yeah, this is cheating. What editor is this? This is Atom. I've made a lot of tweaks and customizations to it in terms of like theme and color scheme and font and icons. Yeah, I like it. It can be slow on large files, but I think it has the best UI and plugin ecosystem of any graphic editor. So I stick with it. I have to rewrite this function. Is this even used anywhere? Damn, it totally is. All right, what does this expect to do? Okay, cool. So that means I have to everything that has nothing to do with flags I need to set. Okay, so that and that and that and then that. File stage, no, yeah. Current route shouldn't be not found. I can't believe I haven't noticed this before. It should just be whatever it is. Save state is correct. That should stay how it is. That should stay how it is. So should that, and so should all of these. We probably want to close the search and reset it. Well, maybe not. I don't know. That we want to keep. That needs to get reset. That doesn't. That doesn't. that might still be going. Oh yeah, like a lot of, like so many people use it. Like I'm pretty sure Richard still uses it. A lot of people at No Writing do. Um, yeah, Teresa uses it. It's super popular. Okay, I'm gonna keep those in this. Okay, so that passes. Something else has failed. Linter's acting weird. Oh, it worked. Okay. All right, moving on. So we got this terms modal view. We're going to import it in this view. Import views dot editor dot terms modal dot view as terms modal. Okay. Do model dot show terms modal on close. Oh, you know what? You can't close this. That's interesting. So we need to refactor this up here. Turns out sometimes you can't close modals, so it's going to be maybe. I wish there was an attributes.none. I wonder if I can make that. That would be cool. I don't think. One second. This is interesting to me now. Not about attribute. Okay. No. Virtual done. Yeah, I just want to know. I just want to know if there's any kind of check for oh, cool. No, I'd have to do key headers. JavaScript is so weird. So I don't know what that means. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I can't do undefined. I'm gonna pass on this for now. It's just not that important. I was trying to see if I could make an attribute that actually doesn't set any attributes on the node. Treat it like a none sort of thing. I'm gonna look into that later. I really want to see this work before 10 o'clock though. Okay, it doesn't like this. Oh. Okay, so that works. And then we have to go into search. All the way at the bottom here. Just okay. So this can just be view for now. What a great first programming language, though. Let's get rid of this. Straight up HTML message. Failed. What's up now? Oh. Okay, so we should see a modal. I'm concerned that we aren't. Ugh. So that's not asked. That's one. And that's nothing. this should be true. It's not even being called. Clearly I'm not in the right place. This is confusing. Why is that not even being called? Why do I even have this function? Good. Refactor I did. Yeah, that's not even. Oh, goodness. I started to extract it out and then got distracted or something. Anyway, now we should see a modal once it compiles. Nice. Hello. That's what we want. So now we want to establish a view model for this. We want to tell it what the latest terms version is. Just call it version, it's fine. Okay. No, this is cool. I'm all for friendly conversation about whatever in the chat. You know, just keep it friendly, keep it positive, keep it encouraging. And everything will be good. Yeah, the chat is yeah, basically to encourage more participation. So if people want to ask questions, that's cool. I'm always looking over and keeping an eye on it. But if you just want to talk about stuff, that is also totally cool. Okay, so we're going to do an iframe over here. And the source of this iframe will be, so we're using a model and model throughout. Oh my gosh, that comes up at work all the time. Yeah, that's super, that is super confusing. I don't know how to make it better. I don't know what else to call a modal than a modal. It's not really a dialogue in all cases, so I don't want to call it a dialogue. Oh yeah, other cool thing about the chat is that y'all can answer questions while I work, and that way I don't have to answer all the questions. Alright, doesn't like something up here. An exposed source. Of course not. Oh shoot, you know what? I want to know when people scroll. Well, I don't care about when people scroll to the bottom. That's not a thing. This is not that kind of This isn't like a business, this is just a piece of software. Okay, it doesn't like something. Right, okay. That is an error that we wanted to see. Okay. Why I wrote embed when I meant terms. Really? Where is it then? A/terms. Beautiful. Let's give this a little bit of style. Okay, so type CSS classes. Container. And then we'll make another file over here called styles. Module views.editor.terms modal.styles. And steal these. Okay, class container. Like 16 pixels, I don't know. Okay, so what are you using for CSS stuff? I am using Elm CSS. For the folks who haven't seen. Elm CSS lets you do CSS in Elm. I'm not using style elements, mostly because it's a little bit new, and there's various things that I hope will be added over time before I switch. Also, I'm like really trying to get a release out of like a lot of features, and the priorities are just not in favor of changing my CSS system right now. Yes, it is a super neat philosophy, and I think it's eventually going to be like the way to do styles in Elm, and one of the big draws of using Elm. I don't have time to do it right now, and I don't think it's worthwhile to prioritize that at this time. What doesn't it like about this? Maybe I'm not exposing it. See, like, I don't know if it's worthwhile to learn those, like maybe HTML, because I think sometimes you'll probably have to drop in. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna go the same way as, like, should I learn JavaScript in order to be proficient with Elm? The answer is kind of like maybe. Like, there's a chance that you'll need it, but who's to say? Okay, I gotta wire this up to my style sheets. Okay, then I need closing bracket here. Okay. Okay, I got a warning. No warnings. Okay. Okay, so now we should get some good padding on there. Yep. This one I like to. These are a little laggy because of the stream. But not terrible. It's been worse. All right. So make a iframe class. Width 100%. Close some of these tabs. I'll close Twitter too, because Twitter uses CPU. No, I didn't put the class on yet. Yeah, I'm going to close Firefox too, because I don't need to be in Heroku or AWS today. Does that compiler message pop-up window? Yeah. Yes, it is an Atom thing. It's Winter Elm Make. This is part of the fun. This is partially, so there's like 3 goals with this stream. One is so I can have transparency with the Ellie users until I'm ready to open source this. So they will know what's being worked on and how things look, and what the priorities are. And another idea behind this is to have people come onto the stream with me so that I can sort of share the platform that I have with this community with other people. I haven't done that in a while because I've been on vacation and I've been like stressing out about getting married and well, not like about getting married, but like stressing out about planning a wedding and moving to a new city, just like life things. And but I think next week we'll be able to resume with having guests. I want to do that about once a week, and also the idea is to just like engage people with Elm. A lot of the people that have shown up in the chat since I've been doing this have been people who've never heard of Elm before and have just like been browsing Twitch for programming streams, and just to get beginners in here and asking questions. There's the part of the great thing about doing a stream is that it's like better than a blog post in that like the whole process of writing this software is on display for y'all to kind of interact with me about. So like in other contexts, like a blog post or I don't know what else there is, like a conference talk maybe, there isn't the opportunity to like ask like, hey, what are you using to show you Elm errors in your editor? That kind of like folk knowledge only gets spread through these kind of materials, these kind of interactions. So I think that is a really good outcome. So I hope you'll ask more high-level programming questions. I hope you'll ask whatever questions you have come to mind, and I'm just happy to be able to do this and to have y'all watch. This is one of my favorite things to do. It really is, and hopefully the number of people who watch will grow, and we can do fancier things than just streaming on Twitch. A couple weeks ago, somebody from this site that does live programming streaming reached out to me, so I want to talk to them about maybe expanding the platform a little bit. So that was my monologue. To answer your original question, this is the linter elm make package, and it runs elm make in the background, and it collects the errors and shows them to you in your editor. It's really, really nice. Okay, so add this iframe class. There we go, full with iframe. Let's give it some background color and also get rid of that border. Zero? Is that correct? Yep. Background color, colors.white. Nope, those are just strings. There we go. Excellent. And let's give it some corners. Fantastic. This is definitely going to scroll, so we want to make sure not to miss out on that. Let's do like a lorem. Just do like 5 paragraphs. A bunch of paragraphs of that. Okay, scroll's no problem. Okay, now let's add div class equals actions. Button container, let's not get too fancy. Pixels between. Okay, we got some space there. Acceptance text. So this is going to be a div class acceptance text have read, or let's say like click accept to clicking accept you have you state that you have read and agree to these terms. Okay, let's make sure we style that. Display flex, just flex direction column, align items center. And then color white. I think that ought to do it. Yep. If I make this taller. I thought that was going to resize. All right, let's give that a different height. Oops. Is it the modal that's not resizing properly? I thought this was just supposed to adjust to the size. It's container, modal content. Yeah, there's no size, so I can just resize the iframe. So we'll say like height. Would a percentage work out here? No, that's doing nothing. 400 pixels, 300 pixels. Yeah, that looks reasonable. 4 minutes left. So we'll do that, and then we will pop into Modal Styles to do so this contains everything. We don't want to do that. We want to leave it how it is. I think that'll center it. No, it will not. We need to justify content center. There we go. All right, let's do this button, and then we'll save the rest for tomorrow. What do you say? Everybody cool with that? Oops. Nope, that's going to be a button. Do I have button imported? I do. I do indeed. Okay, let's style the heck out of this button. I have no idea if anybody's still watching. I'm reloading my Twitch dashboard on the other side on my other screen. 7 people, cool. All right, so I don't really have time to do this the way that I want, so yeah, I'm not gonna do it this morning. I'm just gonna, I wanted to make a generalized button view. But I don't have time. I really do have quite a bit of work to do today, so we're just gonna put a regular old button on the screen. See how it looks. Looks pretty bad. But it does occur to me that I can get rid of this. Yeah, maybe not. I don't want to do it that way. I'll just say at the bottom, 12 pixels, 10 o'clock, right on schedule. Looks pretty good. So now we can come back tomorrow and wire everything up. So the plan is to click this button, send off a request to the server, and send a request to the server, have it save a cookie, an HTTP only signed cookie, so that you can't modify it with JavaScript code in the console, and even if you could, it wouldn't match the signature. Just saying what version of the terms of service you've signed, and then we're gonna insert that into every saved revision. Just I don't want to go into it. It's for my own peace of mind. It's not a big deal for people to just say like I accept. Yeah, everybody have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. I think I'm gonna go for the same time tomorrow, roughly 1300 UTC, which is 8 a.m. where I live. And yeah, I'll see you. Thanks.